Thanks, Gary. Let's talk about your business and where you're at and see if I can help. How's the market share? How's the brand position? How's your retention?
Yeah,
How's your liquidity ratio?
yeah,
Everything,
it's
those
all
key
like
metrics.
it's pretty early stage stuff right now, so we're not too bogged down on those types of targets in terms of market share. But what I will say is that we're growing like pretty quickly. It's affordable growth, it's sustainable, and
Okay, but is it still a disruptive model?
I would say it's a disruptive model because where we've decided to penetrate the market, it's been a bit oversaturated. So I'm thinking if we move over to a more high yielding area that hasn't been tapped too much.
Yeah, I think the Cobblestone area has opened up, and I think that's a high turnover. I think it's just important to remember that in your game, it's a non-zero sum kind of game, so it is competitive. So it is about really seizing a position and a winner takes all kind of approach. Because I think once you've dominated, you can monopolize small pockets, and then you can grow out from there. What's your brand positioning like? Like how are you placing your card in the deck, so to speak?
Well, we're just going for trustworthiness, right? And keeping that open dialogue with our customers and making sure that all the interested parties are happy and everyone's got their ducks in a row. And it's been effective so far, but it's a very high touch model when it comes to attainment and retention.
Yeah, you probably want something more lower touch, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The risk with that is always just the greater churn rate. I mean, we just want.
But don't you think you just need something more? You need more synergy with the market. I don't know if you could just. Just comes back to, I think, that stakeholder engagement, whether you're building an authority in front of them or whether you're creating a brand that people know and trust, but not diluting that. I think you just need more, again, like synergy, symbiotic relationships. You need like to have a three-pronged approach, basically, because those seem to always work well.
Okay, so
really
do you
well.
have anything in mind for all those problems?
Look, I can go into that. I just don't have the bandwidth for that sort of high-fidelity conversation right now. We can come back to more ideation sessions, recalibrate things from like the top down. Like set a firm regender, because I think we've been a bit like loose with this session, for example. It's been a bit off the cuff and like how you're going and a bit cordial. Ultimately, like the optics look like this. We need a win-win scenario between us because that will reflect outwardly in the culture you create.
Yeah. Look, I'm really happy to hear you say that. We've had some bad experiences in the past, and we're happy that that kind of approach can lead to a very high leverage relationship and partnership between us. So yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah, you just need to pivot the cornerstone of your strategy and redefine those KPIs around that. Because what I see now is a lot of like scurrying around trying to win like every little game, and you're not very much like category of one. You kind of really like dispersed it, and you kind of becoming a bit of a commodity. And I don't think you should play this as a commodity game. I think you should play this as a sort of like single player. But yeah, it's just like comes down to like if you're customer centric or not, what those metrics are to indicate that. Eventually, it just comes down to the bottom line.
Yeah. Look, we agree with that, and we think that a customer centric approach would be a great way to establish a competitive advantage in this market, because we see that gets neglected quite a bit. So yeah, we're pretty happy to engage in that kind of strategy, and if you can give us some guidance in the summary email.
Well, then we'll circle back to it. But I think basically I'm curious like what customer segments are proving most profitable and how you can kind of engineer growth off the back of that.
Yeah, okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, and I think you just got to make sure it's scalable because there's no point really doing it if it's not scalable. Because you nail distribution. If you do that, you've got the platform to go into different verticals to extend yourself. Cross segments, cross markets. Build out that product line, really extend your offering. And I think that's really like the fundamentals of what you got in a. I think so you got in a business, and you just pivot and recapitalize on that sort of approach and not overcapitalize, and yet kind of nail those underlying fundamentals. I think I don't know if I have much else here that's really worth. I mean, we went through it all.
Yeah. No,
revenue turnover.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this meeting. I got to head off now, so if you can just send me the minutes of this meeting in an email, and I'll confer with my partners, and then we'll.
Yeah, and I'll get my partner to do that and basically type that up and send it to you, and then I've got to move on. I've got a couple of other meetings to get through today, but we still just want to make sure we're still on track for our arrangement for your services provided to me, and that we're still happy to proceed on that on a pro bono basis, on the basis of the advisory services I render to you in reciprocating that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, happy to just come up with a handshake agreement that we're happy with where this is going, and we see ourselves partnering with you in the long term.
Yeah, because basically you're a high fidelity, innovative, disruptive horticulture business. And a lot of people call that gardening and try to like undermine it, but you haven't mowed the front lawn in like 3 weeks. I'm starting to wonder what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, well, I've just been focusing on like strategizing, I guess. So I just got to start executing.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with this plan that we've come up with together.
Yeah, like getting lost in the language is one thing, but I think it's more about execution and doing. So if you don't mind getting around to that, can you please do that today, please? Can you please
nice,
actually?
Nice. Thanks, Dad.
No worries, son.
How do you know you're free from the Matrix, from all ignorance? It's just as simple way as actually just to subscribe to this channel, the Blue Pill YouTube channel. Even though the red pill in the film is the one that wakes you up, that's a deliberate confusion by Hollywood.